Hey, welcome back to Real Estate Wisdom Podcast, episode number 42. Real Estate Wisdom Podcast, where we share insights and tips to help you navigate the real estate market. I'm your host, Vishal Kapoor, and we're going to dive into a crucial topic today. And the topic is the biggest turnoffs for buyers and tenants when they're looking at resale properties or rental listings. Well, whether you are a seller, landlord, or real estate agent, understanding these turnoffs can help you present your property in the best light and attract more interest. So let's get started. I hope you're doing well. We have this one, we have the human tendency that first impression matter immensely, not only in real estate, but in real life as well. We all know that. When we see something beautiful or we see somebody who dressed nicely, clean, and they acting nicely as well, they are nice people, we get attracted towards it, right? Beautiful things always attracts. So here's some of the most common turnoffs that can make or break a deal. First and foremost, cleanliness and odors. I remember one of my client recently, we were looking in the properties, and it was beautiful house. You know, the pictures were perfect, and realtor did a really good job in creating the videos, everything. The only thing what happened in that house, soon we entered, we smelled cat urine. The house was with pet, but you can feel it, and people who are living there, they might not used to it. I don't know, I can't believe that, it's, pet's urine. Even how much you love them, and I admire the people who have pets. A lot of work, and at the same time, how much they love their pets, and they treat them like a kids, and that's a great thing. But when you're presenting your property, doesn't matter how much you love your pets, it's get turned off. Even for people who own the pets, I can tell you that, they get turned off from that as well. So that's a number one turn off for both buyers and tenants, is a dirty house with with bad odors. Like just mentioned, imagine walking into home and being greeted by clutter, dirt, and unidentifiable smell. And it's an instant deal breaker. I can tell you, a lot of time people ask, why my house is not selling? Well, this is the reason. Sometimes, realtors also asking for the feedback and say, I can give you the feedback, but I'm not sure you're going to take that. And if you can take that and you can improve it, your house will sell faster. This is a study have done, the more than half of people agree they would walk away from a dirty home. So if you are selling or renting out a property, make sure it's spotless. Consider hiring a professional cleaning service to tackle the mess and eliminate any odors, especially if previous tenants left the place in disarray. So I hope this will help especially in this kind of market. I know when the market was, everything was flying off, even you put a cardboard box house out there, people might buy it. Just kidding, but that was anything can sell. But now you have to be more careful. But even on those market, the prices, people were willing to pay a more price for something which is great, look clean. Now, the second things, like a second turnoff, can be outdated features and poor maintenance. Outdated features and poor maintenance can be significant deterrents. Buyers and tenants want a home that feels modern and well cared for. An old-fashioned kitchen or bathroom without modern amenities can be a major turnoff. And sometimes you're looking at return on investment, how much you want to invest in doing so. But I can tell you, somebody's going to do it because they're not going to live on those outdated kitchen, because that's majorly most of the people spend their time, kitchen and living room, and they're not going to like it. Similarly, visible signs of despair, like peeling paint, broken fixtures, or dampness, can make potential buyers or tenants wary of hidden issues. So regular maintenance and some updates can go a long way in making your property more appealing. If you have some wetness, or you can smell that odor which look like a damp, especially in the basement, like older basements, look for it. It's always a good idea to keep maintain, in every season you check and maintain your house, and that will give you not a big hassle that you have to do major repair or anything. But sometimes it's not possible. But before you're putting things on the market, you should do that. I know, a lot of times my clients say that to me, that it's tenanted, I'll fix it later. They're going to get it best, but right now it's tenanted, I cannot do much. Don't be afraid to talking to your tenants. Your tenants are good people, and they want to live nicely as well. And when you're helping them and maintain and repair and cleanliness, everything, and you're encouraging them to do so it's not going to come in shock. So don't be afraid to talk to them. I have so many great clients who have great tenants who cooperate so well. Recently, I did one of the listing in rural Oakville, which was tenanted property, bigger house, and but they hired professional cleaner to come and clean it. That's tenant, not the landlord. Tenant did that because they took a pride, because somebody's going to come to their house and they're going to look how they live, and they felt like they should be taking care of that, and they cooperated very well. So don't assume your tenant's not going to cooperate. They're going to cooperate. Just you have to communicate, and you have to ask nicely. That's an art, right? So that's one thing. Now, turn off number 3, structural problems and environmental factors. Structural problems such as dampness, mold, or subsidence are also major red flags. And I can talk about mold a lot. But sometimes also a structural problem. For example, you made a deck, and underneath the deck, one the thing, a beam or something which is supporting the deck, you add or you put something else. Sometimes also people have seen the fences when they're doing it. They're putting different planks in between because it's just a repair and they couldn't find the matching one. And they just leave it like that and say, thinking about, it's just a tenanted property, or it's going to just, I'm going to sell. I'm not going to invest that money. Try to match as much you can. Also looking into some of the areas, inspect your house. And sometimes it's very important to have the pre-listing inspection done. I know there's always controversial. Some people say do or don't. But I say in that way, you exactly know what's wrong with your house, right? And if that can be fixed, and if that cannot be fixed, you can put in there, here's the issue. and it can be repaired, but I don't have the money to repair it. And that's why I listed my property accordingly, considering that I'm not going to budge my price, but at the same time, the person going to know that these are the things might need to be fixed. Hiding things, not a great idea. So, because these issues not only affect the property's aesthetics, but also raise concern about long-term livability and potential repair cost. So if I'm buying something and if I know how much it's going to cost me later, I probably make my decision accordingly rather than, staying in the limbo. That's what's going to happen. Additionally, environmental factors like proximity to power lines, which you cannot change, that's what you should consider when you're purchasing the property. Mobile towers or flood-prone areas can deter buyers and tenants. So it is essential to address any structural issues and be transparent about environmental factors to build trust in potential clients. I know it's honesty and integrity is the biggest thing. I don't know why people are afraid of that, being honest. Hiding, cheating someone doesn't go a long way. Doesn't go a long way. It's going to come and bite you. Anyway, moving on to next turnoff is unappealing outdoor spaces. How many times I've seen it? They listed the property for lease and there are weeds all around on the grass. What do you think is going to happen? The exterior of our property is just as important as the interior. Unkept gardens, cluttered yards, and poor landscaping can significantly reduce curb appeal. A well-maintained lawn, clean pathways, and some colorful plants can make a huge difference. And you don't have to do much. Those are things. The other one is driveways. I have seen so many driveways which have cracks on them, and especially on the tenanted property, which are properties which are tenanted for a long time and they're not maintaining it. Later it's going to cost you more, but if you do the regular maintenance, it will be much easier. And this is a season right now. If you're having a driveway which need the another coating of tar, and also the cracks need to be filled, get it done. I just got it done on my own property, and it's not that expensive. And few of the maintenance you can do yourself. You don't even have to spend that much money. Plants on sale right now. Plant some flowers. It will give you that appeal, right? Like I mentioned before that, first impression starts from the outside. So make sure your property looks inviting from the moment someone arrives. And that's what you get attracted towards too, right? If you're going to buy a property and if you're going to rent a property for yourself, then that's what you think you're going to look for, isn't it? So why it's different when you on the other side, you're a landlord or you're a seller? It should be the same way, the way you're going to like it, right? Now, another turn off, that's a big one. Unreasonable pricing and restrictive policies. Well, finally, the pricing and policies play a crucial role. Overpriced properties can deter buyers, while restrictive policies like showing times, such as ban on pets, can turn away potential tenants. And it's important to price your property competitively and consider being flexible with policies to attract a broader range of clients. And this is the other thing which, happened. I have one of my clients, it was an older gentleman, I remember. I was listing the property in older part of Burlington. And this gentleman like insisting that he has to be there when the showings are happening. And he was just like a hawk watching everybody's going, like, feels like, somebody's going to steal something from them. He'd have the trust issues. And I was keep on telling him, like, don't do it. But those are my earlier days. And I have to take the listing that time. And honestly, and I didn't know that much that time, that how much is going to affect. And I thought like it'd be okay. And to my knowledge, like he also was smoking in his backyard. So can you imagine that? Like somebody walk in and some older gentleman peeking in while you're looking around the house. Guess what happened? The property sit in the market for a long time. And eventually we sold it. I don't believe we sold it. Like I think we canceled it because he was saying that, this is not working. I changed the market, but it was not the market condition. And he was persistent about his price as well, because that's what he thought, like that's a price he should be getting rather than what's a market price is. And it did end up selling after 3 months on a reduced price, right? So it's just a waste of time for yourself and for others as well. So make sure that you understand that part, that you want that much money from your property when you sell, but that's need to be reasonable, not unreasonable. And most of the time people don't think that's unreasonable because that's what they think that house is worth. House is not the worth what you perceive. House is worth like what in that market, what market is telling. How much buyer want to buy it for? Not necessarily. How much sellers want to sell it for? Not necessarily. But what's going around? What kind of potential? But if you're doing the above things which I mentioned you before, like cleanliness and presenting it, you might get the above market price, but you have to work on it, right? You're not going to get anything without working on it, right? So to sum up, the biggest turnoffs for buyers and tenants include cleanliness issues, unpleasant odors, outdated features, poor maintenance, structural problems, unappealing outdoor spaces, space and layout issues, unreasonable pricing, and restrictive policies. And I can tell you, by addressing these issues, you can make your property more attractive and increase your chances of successful sale or rental in short period of time. So you don't have to worry about waiting for long. And these are some basic things. There's no secret. It's how you present it, how you price it, and how you market it. It's only 3 things why the property sell. Marketing is realtor's job. Cleanliness and presenting it's both people's job actually. And pricing is also like both people's job, but you have to decide how much you're going to price so it can sell and be reasonable about it. So that's all for today's episode of the Real Estate Wisdom Podcast. I hope you found these insights helpful. And if you have any questions or suggestions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. I know a lot of you guys watching, and you're giving me offline feedback, but I appreciate that if you can put your comments over there. And that will help me grow and our podcast grow to reach out more people who can maybe can get benefit from these tiny wisdoms about real estate and help them. So I will really appreciate that, and I can use your help for sure. Anyway, enjoy the perfect weather. I say like perfect, right? It's hot for some people. I like it, and it's not that cold. Enjoy the summer, and I will say, be prepared because happy selling buying time is coming soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
This podcast is for informational purpose only and should not be considered as financial or investment advice. Consult with your professional before making any real estate decisions.